Welcome back, everyone. We have something that's very interesting for you. And of course, today, actually, after this, I'm going to go to my children's school, get their report cards, and it's holidays. So if you are trying to do something that's very different with your loved ones, why not try your hand at something that's artsy, ceramics?
That's right. Now, working with clay can not only be relaxing, but it's also exciting and maybe a little bit messy. But what it definitely does is take you back to making mud pies and playing with Play-Doh as a kid. Were you like that when you were a messy kid?
I was, especially Play-Doh. My mama didn't like it with the carpet, but I did enjoy it and had a great fun. Now, this morning we're going to learn more. It's like mouthful right there. A lot of Play-Dohs. We're going to talk about pottery making with Ivana, Stacia, Helmi. She's the founder of Gawe Ceramics. Good morning.
Good morning.
Ivana. Thank you so much for being here with us. And your little intricate potteries right here. This is so cute, by the way.
Thank you so much.
All right. So thank you so much for coming to our studio. What are we going to do for today?
For today, here I already have like a bisware.
Okay.
This is what we call a ceramic that has been fired once.
Okay, yes.
So yeah. So today you can paint using this color called underglaze.
Underglaze.
Yeah.
All
You can
right.
mix the colors, and you can mix it with water to water it down, like watercolor paint.
Okay.
Also, 2 or 3 layers will be enough.
All right.
Yeah, I mean, you have the perfect candidate as your student because we're the senior by age. By what I mean is by age. So
However,
that's gonna be fun.
My art skills are horrible, so we'll just have to see how this turned out. So,
Okay.
why don't we get started? This is half done already. Normally, you would have to create this part first, but now this has been fired once. We can start painting on it.
Yes.
We're going to start doing that while we'll talk a little bit about
Okay.
Gawe ceramics. So, where do we start first? We're going to prepare our paints first,
Yes,
right?
yes, yes.
Okay.
Will save us a little bit of time. That way.
Right.
Okay,
So okay, we can just put
well, oops, try
there
it.
the paint there,
Yes,
right? And then you can mix it around. So let's talk about, like, Paul mentioned about Gawe Ceramics. So did you have a education background in arts before?
Yes, my background is product design.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So yeah, I got encounter ceramics as like an elective in my university.
Oh, so you got the first basic on it first in your universities,
Yes.
okay?
Then yeah, decided that I think like I love this.
It's a passion. It's a calling for you.
Yes.
So why ceramics? What is it that's about ceramics that fascinated you and decided to go down that direction?
At first, I like to make things with my hands.
Okay.
And I found the texture and the clay feelings on my hand is very nice.
Okay.
So yeah,
it is therapeutic then.
Yeah. I find it very relaxing, very very intuitive also to make things with your hands, like your bare hands. Also, it helps me to focus more, definitely.
A lot of people would say that it's challenging. I'll tell you why, because I have a 7-year-old at home. We started her pottery, doing little beginner pottery lessons at about 4 or 5 years old. She said it was challenging. Not the painting part so much, but creating the pottery. It is a bit fragile, so there was a couple lessons where she came home a bit sad. I said, what happened? She made a cup, but the handle broke off. So what are some of the challenges for those that are trying to use this? Because I can imagine if you break your work, it's not going to be as relaxing as doing
There's
it.
also different types, right?
Yes. Like you mentioned, I think the biggest challenge in making the pottery is, to deal with expectations.
Okay.
Yes, because, the ceramic is very slow and tedious process.
Right.
Like even when you're done shaping it, there's always a chance of, cracks or imperfection during the drying or the firing process.
Right.
So I try to communicate as much as possible about this with my students.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Right.
and
No expectation, that's first.
yeah. So also like not many people know about this, right? Like you can. There's a lot of things going on behind the scenes also.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think it's part of the learning journey. Like usually when you're trying to walk, you don't run first.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you're
so-
right.
Yeah. So yeah.
It really tested your patience
True.
on this. Now let's talk about your Gawe Ceramics. When did it start and how did it begin?
I started Gawek Ceramic in February 2021.
Okay.
It's like my personal pandemic project. Yeah.
Right.
So, yeah, because I had been feeling a lot of pressure on works, and I really desperately needed for like a creative outlet.
Okay.
And then one day on 2020, I came across the video on YouTube about mini pottery wheel. So I think, and I was like, wow, I think I can do this. Because, you know, like in lockdown and being kept in a tiny apartment, you know. So yeah, I tried to make the videos and put it on the YouTube. And
Great response.
Yeah. Yeah.
Really? I guess people were looking for things to do in the middle of the pandemic.
True. And then not long after, I got laid off.
Oh,
From
really?
the company. And then I always wanted to have a pottery studio.
Yeah.
Right.
So I was like, okay, here
There
we
you
are.
go.
Yeah,
Like
there
the
you go.
universe has spoken.
Sending you a
know.
sign and you listened. Okay, I have no idea what I'm making. by the way.
That's cute,
I'm just
though.
making shapes
I'm
because
just coloring right now.
I have a 6-month-old baby that's starting to respond to things. So I just think of what do kids like? They like shapes and numbers. And
Yes.
so who is this generally for? I know that there's kids pottery classes, but there's also adult pottery classes.
Yes.
So who do you find that most of the students that want to take classes? Are they more kids or?
Yeah, definitely more kids because I live in like residential area.
Yeah,
The studio is in the residential area, but also I find a lot of like university students.
Really?
Right.
Like workers, also like but not that much like a pensioners.
Okay, that would make sense. Looking for something to do. When you find that, what do they usually? What's the reason that somebody like a university student or an adult would take these classes? Is it more to create the crafts, or is it more for the activity itself?
Or even business.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Some of them looking for new skills,
Okay.
which
Right.
is really great to have,
Yeah.
especially like nowadays. And some of them just like wants to be productive on the weekends,
Yeah.
Also, some of them really, wants to try something new.
True.
I think that's the most of them.
And you were saying there's two types, right? I told you before I tried the one with the wheel. It really intimidated me very much, so it's kind of scared for me to do it again. But I like the one where you do the pottery just with your bare hands.
Yes,
So
yes.
there's two types.
Yes, there's hand building and then there's wheel throwing.
Okay.
Hand building is the one that you just use bare hands and a few simple tools. The result will be more organic, like that part, the one
one
with
here?
the animals, yes.
Oh, okay.
And then there's wheel throwing,
Yes.
which the one that you paint right now, which
Okay.
is more like refined.
Right.
Yes.
It's more immaculate. Does this for the one with the wheel is for more intermediate, and for the one with the hand is more like it's like the basic step first?
Definitely the hand building is more basic, but I try to approach my workshop as a beginner-friendly workshop.
Okay.
Okay.
So yeah, everyone can join.
So everyone can use the wheel.
Yes, except for little kids.
Okay. Yes.
Because it's not many people realize this, but wheel throwing it requires like a lot of strength.
Right.
Yeah, right.
Yes,
Right?
exactly.
Yeah. So yeah, little kids might find it very challenging.
Yes. And then they're gonna get bored with it, and they're just gonna
Yeah.
splatter it all over. Like the clay would splatter all over.
No.
So when you do you offer courses? Is it a regular thing? Because the ones that I've put my daughter in, it's basically like a one-off thing. She comes in, does like
Yeah.
a couple hours, and then that's it. But do you have something more regular for those that want to perhaps do more expert or advanced levels as well?
Right now, I just offer like a hobby class.
Okay.
So yeah, because I think right now the market is still new.
Right.
So there's a lot of people that haven't been doing this thing, So
Yes.
I think it's more like a beginner side, but maybe in the future. But I also have like some students come like regularly.
So they're
like monthly.
Right. So they're a member on the Gawe Ceramics itself. You were mentioning even you have, participants or students coming from outside of Java.
Yes.
Really?
Yes, that's amazing. Tell us more.
Yeah, from where?
It comes from Surabaya, Makassar,
Really? Wow.
Lembang. I think people, because I think in the area there's no,
Right.
Something like that.
yes, there's nothing like workshop like this. Also, I think they're looking like for fun activities during the holiday for their
Sure.
kids. Yeah, I think that's why.
So let's take us to the process, right? Especially for those that doesn't live here in Jakarta, where your workshop is. So they come in and they do the pottery, and then you have to wait. You need to burn it, if I'm not
Yes.
mistaken, right? With that process until it's ready, and then they paint it. So how does that work for them, especially coming out from outside of Java?
If for the students that comes from far,
Yeah.
especially when they took like hand building class, I suggest them to paint on site and at that time. So
Okay.
yeah, so they don't need to come back to paint again after firing.
Okay, so they waited here and whatnot, but they enjoy it. It must have a lot of memories, especially coming here to Jakarta and doing it with you said there's a lot of mothers and daughters, mothers and son, even fathers with their children.
I did it with my daughter, that's for sure. It was a whole lot of fun.
Yeah.
I think it was more relaxing for me than it was for her. So perhaps while we head into the, before we let you finish up here, before we head into the holiday season, perhaps you could tell our viewers why this is such a great activity for those to do during the holidays.
I think pottery is really fun. You can mold it to anything, basically.
True.
Also, it's very relaxing. It's proven scientifically to improve your focus. Also,
I'm actually more focused now that I've been the entire program.
also maintaining a good mental health.
Yes.
I like
Always
that
good
one
to be
too.
relaxed, very
Yeah.
important.
So-
So thank you so much for your time and for bringing in
Yes.
all these tools. I love it. I love doing this.
Thank you so much.
Definitely, we're going to visit your workshop. Tell us, before you go, can you tell us where your workshop is?
It's in Puri Indah, Jakarta Barat.
There you go.
So show us what you got, Carol, so far.
I got 2-layer colors. There's
That's
still more to
nice.
go.
Oh, so pretty.
More to go.
I made mine for like a candy dish for a kid.
Cute.
So while they're taking sweets, they can look at shapes. I put all different shapes starting with the heart. I put it like a little clock, so it's like a numbers,
Nice.
like a clock so they can learn to count. And then if they're looking at the outside of the bowl, they can learn their alphabet. A through...
Very good,
I've
Dad.
only made it through L so far.
Very good, Dad. Yes. By the way, I should really.
I don't
try
mind
to
like
do
a
that.
3-year-old, I'm telling you.
So much fun. All right, so we're going to take a quick break right now, but when we return, Paul is going to come back
Yes.
and give you the recap from
Gonna act
the
like an
world of
adult for once.
sports. Hopefully, he's going to bring that too with
Yes.
him. All right, we'll be right back.